You did these things in World of Warcraft. You did this. What is this all about? What things did I do? Let's see if Nixium has a little hint here to what we've all done in this game before.
How many of these things did you do in World of Warcraft? Try and keep. How many of these things did you do in World of Warcraft? Try and keep score. Forgetting to turn on auto loot with a new character. Got lost in the original Wailing Caverns dungeon. Ran around in circles in Dalaran during Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, I done that.
You got lost in Ashenvale when you wandered off
turning
the
it
road.
up.
Stated your honest feedback of the game one day on the forums, just to get called a complete idiot.
Loser! You're a loser!
Spammed.
I posted one time on the forums, and it was when my account got banned for putting my Twitch name in the group finder. And I got shredded. Yeah, I never posted again.
Urge in trade chat back in TBC. Deleted your Hearthstone by mistake. Spent hours camping a rare spawn. Went to Goldshire Inn on a roleplay realm just to see what all the fuss is about.
Oh, God.
Died to the elevator boss in Undercity. Talked
Done
about
it.
how the game was better back in vanilla, despite the fact that you started in Wrath of the Lich King. Killed low-level mobs before newbies could tag them for quests, just to be a jerk. Gang to lower-level characters on a PvP
I remember the
realm.
first time I hit cap level, I went back to a starting zone and killed all the mobs because I wanted to look godlike, right? Because I remember somebody else doing that when I was there, and I was like, it's time. It's time for me to go back, show off my mounts, show off my gear, and be a badass in Northshire. And that's where I went, and I actually killed a bunch of wolves and shit and just kind of hung out there for a little while.
Just to be a jerk. Tried to exploit and glitch the game to get into secret and unreachable areas. Sat atop
Done
the
it.
dam in Loch Madan and just took in the view. Realized that the gnolls in Warcraft built
Yeah.
their tents out of human skin, which terrified you.
Yeah,
At one point, you
sure.
tried to get into Karazhan crypts just to see the underwater hanging bodies.
Oh, I
you
remember
tried
those.
to convince somebody that Death Knights were not overpowered in Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. Yeah, I tried to. I remember leading in DPS and shit with a Death Knight and Wrath, and people were saying, "Well, you're a Death Knight, of course." And I tried to convince them that no, I was actually very skilled, and that's why I was doing it. Time would show that I was not, in fact, skilled. That Death Knights were just OP at the time.
Wrath of the Lich King. You glided off of Mount Hyjal as a demon hunter, just for fun. You asked somebody once where Mancrick's wife was. You checked out the free trial of Zygor,
Ooh,
linked down below
nice
in the
ad.
description. World of Warcraft's Ultimate Guide add-on
Snuck
for
that one
leveling,
in.
getting more gold, maxing your professions, getting mounts, pets, achievements, and a whole lot more. Wiped your raid, and then you tried to be as quiet as possible so you wouldn't get noticed and then yelled at. Spammed
Yep, I did that a couple times in Karazhan. I did, in fact, wipe the raid. One time we CC'd, in the, what's it called? The room, the dining room where you got to CC the bosses. I was a mage, and I, in fact, attacked one of the CC'd enemies and wiped the raid, and I did that a couple times. And I pretended like it wasn't me.
Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker at least once. Complained about those furries.
Yeah, I hired it as much as I could, but this is about as loud as it's going to get. Yeah, I even hired the volume in my stream.
Creating World of Warcraft, while at the same time having a Worgen main. You made a joke about not being able to see Arthas's mount since it's called invincible. You found yourself quoting Nixium's Ishnu Alagai voice to your friends. Teabagged Arthas's corpse up on ice.
How does it
Intentionally
feel
avoided
knowing how much your failure has cost the world?
Man, that was loud as hell. Holy crap. Holy crap, that was loud as hell.
avoided the flag in Warsong Gulch because fighting in the middle is just more fun. Genuinely regretted at one point having gotten hooked to this stupid MMO, but genuinely were thankful at one point for all the good memories you've made playing World of Warcraft.
True.
Joined a guild and then left moments later after somebody said hello to you. Social anxiety, it's a pain.
I did.
Made a female character just to take off their clothes and dance on a mailbox to try and get some free gold.
Okay, I did that. I did do that. I regrettably did make a night elf female at one point. Went to Dalaran and, did the strip dance shit and got some gold. I was desperate. I needed my epic mount, man. I was never going to be able to grind out enough gold for it. So, I did what a man has to do.
Free gold. Created an elaborate backstory for your World of Warcraft character that you have told nobody. Went to a roleplay wedding in-game.
Never.
Went to a roleplay funeral in-game. Commissioned a piece of artwork of your main character. Accidentally got an extremely rare mount that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Called a Kultiran Fat. Pretended to be a mythic raider even though you've only ever done LFR. Flirted with a girl character, only to realize that it was a guy in real life. AFK auto ran.
I think I told you guys this story before. My cousin did this. So my cousin, he was foreign, right? He was fresh from overseas. English was a second language to him, and he started speaking to this girl he thought was a girl in the game, and they basically started flirting a lot, and he started telling me about this girl that he was talking to in game. And I go, "Oh, really? What's the girl's name?" And he goes, "Her name is Kylie." So I was like, "Really?" And I go, "Okay, show me the character." He ended up going, they were meeting in Darnassus all the time, I guess. She was a night elf, and he met them. And it turns out the name was Kyle. And I had to explain that to him, right? The name was Kyle with an like apostrophe over the E. So it was just Kyle. And I told him it's probably a guy, and he refused to believe me. And then a couple months later, he told me, "Oh, I'm talking to a new girl in the game. I don't talk to Kylie anymore." And I went and looked, and he goes, "This, mind you, English is a second language to him again." I told him, "What's the name of the new person?" He goes, "NL." And I go, "What?" He goes, "NL." I go, "Show me the character." The person's name was Anal. Yeah. Their name was Anal. So I told him, "You're probably getting played for gold. This is probably another guy who just named their character Anal." Yeah, but he didn't believe me. I think he talked to them for a long time.
Real life. AFK auto ran
Good
the
old
Barrens while
NL.
listening to a YouTube essay on your other monitor. Tried classic WoW hardcore as a warrior to be a badass, only to realize it's kind of a pain, so you went back to that hunter. Tried one of those World of Warcraft trivia YouTube videos, only to realize you don't know anything about this game or its lore.
True.
Shed a tear the first time you killed Arthas and concluded the storyline set out from Warcraft 3. You watched
Amazing.
Novel 87's YouTube videos to finally learn Warcraft lore while grinding one day.
I did.
You thought that Chris Metzen's Geek Is BlizzCon speech a few years ago was pretty cringe. You acted like a total classic Andy over on the official WoW forums, only to realize later on that you kind of acted like an ass. Harassed a mage for food and water, a little too rudely.
Yeah, I used to whisper. I remember in BC, Burning Crusade, I would run around the Grand asking people, mages, to give me food and water all the time. Because I was, collecting my Talbuck poop and shit and killing those mobs. You remember when you had to kill like 50 of every fucking mob in the Grand back then? Those were real grindy quests. I needed food and water. So yeah, I used to beg mages for it. Like just literally follow them around spamming them for it.
Too rudely. Complained about paladins being too overpowered because of their bubble shield and lay on hands. You
True.
made a character, you got him to level 10. You abandoned that character.
Oh,
you
yeah.
made another character, you got him to level 10, you abandoned him, and repeat.
Yeah.
You've lamented at the fact that that one friend that you made has not logged in over 3 years.
True.
Purchased a World of Warcraft novel, but you didn't read it. Smelled the user manual from the original vanilla WoW box.
How do you not smell the user manual? Man, you got to do the flip of the pages at the same time, too, so you get the whiff right into your nose. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Farmed a mount for ages, you got it, and then you realize that nobody cares. Compared pet battles in World of Warcraft to Pokemon way too many times. Got into an argument over whether or not the Warcraft movie was good or not. You cried during one of the game's cinematics, most likely that Wrath of the Lich King cinematic. You went through a giant gold farmer phase. You made a ton of cash, you felt like a king, but now you're just too lazy to farm that much
never
money
did.
again. You ran naked through a capital city, just for the lulz. One day you wanted to try making a machinima like Oxhorn, Nixium, or Captain Grimm, but you realized it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of work, so you gave up. One day you purchased a World of Warcraft themed shirt that you only wear around select people, never out in public. Went to
I had one. It shrank to way too much now because my mom kept washing it and drying it on superheat. But I did have a World of Warcraft shirt that I only wore in my home or when my friends were coming over to play World of Warcraft.
once and
I got
ended
it
up
for a
taking
birthday.
a hover hand photo with a cosplayer. Made a Chuck Norris joke in the Barrens.
True.
Somehow ended up in the center of a ton of guild drama that you didn't even start. Rushed to max level, completed all the content.
Yeah, I did this. So I was playing as a hunter at the time, and I was in a guild. We were running Karazhan. All the guild drama that I ever experienced started in Karazhan, because that was when I started raiding seriously. I was playing as a hunter at the time. I just came into the guild, and I had to do the thing where if you were a hunter back then, you had to continuously drop traps. It was a strategy where you would take one of the mobs over to the corner of the room, and you would just keep baiting them into your traps, right? And just keep doing that over and over and over. Evidently, I was replacing some guy. I had no idea. I was new to this guild. I replaced some guy who was a regular in the guild. The guy logs on during our raid. So the guild started the raid an hour early without telling this guy, and I had no idea. I just came in as a new hunter. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm joining the guild. Hey, yeah, we need a hunter. Can you join us?" Sure. And I got into the guild, and we're doing the raid. All of a sudden, this guy comes online. I guess at the time they were supposed to raid, and starts blowing up the guild chat, fucking going off. He finds out that I'm the hunter who replaced him, and he went nuts. He went nuts. He fucking went off. He was like, "Who's this piece of shit?" My name was Sandman at the time. He goes, "Who the fuck is Sandman? He fucking probably sucks. Fuck you guys. I gave you guys so much time. I was contributing so much to the guild, and you replaced me like that." Yeah, you can't blame him. Yeah, yeah. So I had no idea. I actually left the guild like a couple minutes later. We wiped a couple times on Morose, and then I was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here. This guild sucks." But the guild completely collapsed, you know, and I watched it happen, and I had no idea that I was going to be part of that guild drama.
Rushed to max level, completed all the content as fast
He did.
as...
He did also tell the guild leader that his wife was a piece of shit, and the only reason why she gets to come to raids is because she is in fact married to him and sucks his dick on a daily basis. So it got very personal. I felt very weird.
possible, and then you complained that the game had nothing to do in it, despite 98% of the population being miles behind you. Made fun of people who play gnome characters,
Yeah, of
despite
course.
unironically enjoying playing as them.
I played
you
as a gnome.
AFK'd in your garrison all day in Warlords of Draenor, instead of actually playing the game, because AFKing is good gameplay. Named your Demon Hunter character some form of the word Illidan or not prepared. Made a joke about how the War Within expansion is named after Blizzard's company internal drama. Got into an argument with somebody about how woke Blizzard has become over the years.
Oh, God.
Looked at Rule 34 for Jaina Proudmoore, and then you realized that Night Elves are just hotter. You wanted Blizzard to somehow put the card game
Kind of.
Hearthstone into World of Warcraft, but they didn't, and you've been sad ever since. Went through
Yeah, Hearthstone in WoW would have been a great thing, and I still think it would be if they ever did it.
a big mount collector phase, until you realize that farming mounts takes forever.
Yeah.
You've always wondered why this icon of the big titty lady...
Yeah, I've always thought this. Is this still in the game, or did they remove it when they went through all of the removing everything phase? But yeah, this is like just a you know, massively tits. Like, that's it. I remember getting this, I think it was in Classic, and I thought that. I was like, damn, well, I got to go do a session now. I'm going to grab some lotion, go upstairs.
exists in World of Warcraft. One day you realized you were addicted to the game.
The
but you were
fertility
thankful
statue,
that
that's
your
what it is,
bedroom
yeah,
does not look
basically.
as bad as Asmongold's. Complained that warlocks always get the best looking armor in the game. Wondered what the
They
wetlands
do.
must smell like. Wished there were more quests in Ajara and classic WoW. One day you turned up the in-game ambience just to hear the Arthas whispers in the Undercity throne room. Listened to Big Blue Dress from Cranius while playing as a mage. Quoted a line from Illegal Danish in your guild chat.
And
What?
he touched my ass.
You left WoW one day for one of those old WoW killer MMOs.
I did
Just
it.
to come back probably a month later.
I did it. Yeah, me and my friends went to our local Walmart. This was on a day off, so it was a delayed launch day for school. We had sometimes we had these delayed days. We went to get Warhammer Online. We went to get Warhammer Online. We bought the box set. We went to school, and then we came back home to my parents' house, and we installed Warhammer Online. It was a Friday, and played it the rest of the weekend. It fucking sucked. Yeah, Warhammer Age of Reckoning. It sucked. Yeah, it was really bad. And we were like, this is the next WoW. This is it. We're going to play this. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to get geared as shit. We're going to be really good at this game. And I think I paid 1 month of sub, and then we went right back to WoW. Yeah. Well, I played on a small server in original TBC and once cleared ZA and started getting the mount. Bear in mind, it was the only guild in the server that was clearing ZA with enough time to get the mount. No one was allowed to get the mount until the GM got it, and his wife got it. All 8 alts. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, a lot of guilds like that back in the day. The husband-wife guilds were always bad. If you found out that a husband and a wife, and the husband was the guild leader, you needed to run the fuck away from that shit. It was always bad. Because they were always going to ninja loot to each other, and they might start bickering, you know, during the actual raid, like actual relationship drama would come into the raid. Somebody would start flirting with the guy's wife because she's the only girl who plays the game within like a 1,000-mile radius, and then that would cause problems. Like, it was just weird. It was weird. Yeah. So don't ever that rule holds true till today. If you join a guild and the guild leader's wife is in the guild, get the fuck out of there. Quickly.
Teabagged Illidan's corpse in Black Temple, because why not? You've capped Snowfall Graveyard in Ultric Valley just to create a turtle game. You joined a guild, but just because you thought the name was funny. One day you gave the
think I
monk
did.
class a chance, and then you went back
I think Big in China or something was a guild that I joined at one point just because I thought it was a funny name.
to your main. Attempted to draw your World of Warcraft character. tried leveling one of every class to max level, but you got bored in the attempt and gave up.
Never.
One day, you bought the World of Warcraft cookbook,
Nah.
and you never opened it. You've dreamed of competing in the World of Warcraft arena tournament at BlizzCon. Thought about buying gold.
There's always an exception to the rule, Gamer Smoosh. That's good to hear that you guys have a healthy relationship and can run a guild properly.
From a seedy website. Got banned or suspended by Blizzard for a time for something that you didn't do or that you didn't understand. Made fun of somebody who doesn't keybind their abilities.
Yeah, the
Got dragged
clickers, of
into
course.
a dungeon speedrun one day and discovered that dungeon speedrunning is actually an extremely fun way to play the game. You were terrified before your first raid.
Oh,
Ran around
I was
and-
shaking, man. I was sweating. I remember before I went into Karazhan, I was freaking shaking. I was so scared. And I told my mom, I was like, please don't bother me for a little bit. I'm going to do a raid. And she was like, what is that? I'm like, it's a thing where you get together with a bunch of people and you kill really big guys in the game, like really big bosses. And she goes, okay, have fun. And I told her I will. I was shaking when I sat at my computer that day. Needless to say, I fucked up every mechanic, and I think I got kicked from that run pretty early on.
zones as a max level character just to remember the good old days. Used Internet Archives online to go through the old worldofwarcraft.com website just for nostalgia. You liked and subscribed to this YouTube channel.
I already
Thanks,
am.
guys. It was over. You quit World of Warcraft for good. You told everybody that you were done, and then you came back for the
Who
very
hasn't done
next
that?
expansion. And last but not least, the one thing that we all did. We practiced 360 spins in the air with our mouse while running somewhere for a quest.
Come on, of
Out
course.
of those 100 points, what was your score? Let us know in the comment section below.
I might have been at 50 on that one. Yeah, really good, really funny video. I did a lot of these things. Holy shit. This is loud as hell. Yeah, because I had the volume so damn high. But yeah, I did a lot of those things, and a lot of them are freaking hilarious. I'm sure a lot of us have. Again, be careful with joining those guilds. Guild drama is a fond memory of mine back in the day when I used to do that kind of stuff.